Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I am checking out a Cyberverse figure. We have Transformers Cyberverse. I don't remember the subline, maybe this is Power the Sparks, but we have Gnaw here. And Gnaw, I was curious about it first because I essentially thought it was a deluxe version of Titan Master's Attack or Power of the Primes, whatever version of Gnaw that was. This guy. But it's actually much more a new mold, which I thought was very interesting. I had to pick one up because I wanted to get a big Gnaw leading my Sharkticons, which I've got, as we can see back here. I've got all sorts of Sharkticon and Alicon boys, and with Earthrise Alicons coming out in the future, I wanted a bigger Sharkticon to hang out with my bigger Alicons versus my itty-bitty Alicons, which are still great. In Sharkticon mode, I mean, he's that classic movie Sharkticon. I don't think there's any real issues with him compared to the Combiner Wars figure. He's got his, fists on the back of his legs, just like the Combiner Wars, or the Prime Trilogy figure. He's got painted eyes instead of translucent eyes. He's got essentially very similar paint apps. His teeth are painted versus the original American release, and then comparing it to the Takara release, that's kind of the different paint jobs we have access to. The thing that I think is a bit of a bummer is the fact that his head doesn't kind of fold away. It sticks up there, which, that's a little disappointing. And then his arms, the fact that they're molded in, I mean, they're painted nicely, but the fact that they're molded in instead of being able to rotate like the original one, that's a shame. But other than that, I mean, for a Cyberverse figure, I think he looks awesome. I think, is he worth $20? No, but if you can get him on sale, I think he's great fun. And then, of course, he has the Decepticon symbol because in Cyberverse, the Sharkticons, I actually don't know if I've gotten far enough in the show to know exactly where they pop up. But I'm assuming they're on the Decepticon side rather than independent military dudes. And let's go ahead and get Gnaw transformed. We're going to take his tail out. The transformation is very similar to the Prime Wars figure. We can flip down, open up his mouth, flip down his legs, which will transform by taking the back of his head up into his heel, just like the Prime Wars figure. Same thing on this side. And we can see how Gnaw is shaping up. Then we can take, I believe, this part of his lower jaw, bring that down, and it locks into place on his tummy. Flip his arms around and flip. The arm is attached into a rotating peg that we can unclick and re-click on this side. Same thing on this side. It re-engages on his shoulder. And then his thighs have an interesting attachment piece where they can reattach into a tab on his crotch, which is weird to me. It kind of limits articulation. I guess what it does allow is this gimmick, which is already setting off. Let's just get him all posed up, and then we'll talk about the gimmick. The unfortunate thing about his transformation scheme, the difference between this and, let's say, the Prime Wars figure, we'll go ahead and unfold you, get your tail out of the way, fold this up, do the legs the same way. The Prime Wars figure has ball joints. Which means that this little Legends guy technically has more articulation than this Gnaw. We can, do all sorts of bending and everything at his shoulders, whereas this Gnaw can only swivel. That's a big disappointing thing to me. He can hold his mace, of course, and I think I prefer the Cyberverse mace. It looks more like a mace than this. Kind of looks like a weird gun thing. But I really wish these were ball joints. I don't know why they couldn't have been. Other than that, his articulation is limited. I mean, it's a Cyberverse figure. His head can go 360. His arms at the shoulders can go 360. You got to watch out because this joint will want to work itself loose. He can go up and down. There's a bicep swivel, but that's it at the arm, which is unfortunate. If you unpeg his legs, he can get pretty far articulated in his hips. He can go not too far forward because of his doughy little pudge body. He can go a decent amount back. And then when you lock in his legs, they're kind of stuck in that position. The knees bend just a teeny tiny bit. Really, I think you get this guy for the Sharkticon mode. And then, of course, he does have kind of a fun gimmick, which is if you get the arms out of the way, his Decepticon symbol, if you unpeg just a little bit, it frees up this upper part of his torso, which you can use his shark fin as a pump action piece. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. Which I think is fun. I mean, that's, it's a kid's gimmick toy. I mean, they're all children's toys. But I think in terms of gimmicks, it at least doesn't intrude into transformation all that much. And you can lock it down if you want and just have your Gnaw like this. Not a lot of paint in this mode. I was kind of hoping for some purple paint or pink highlights. It's unfortunate that the paint that we got to see, the colors that we got to see in Sharkticon mode, don't really apply to Gnaw here. But I think for picking him up on sale and having him as one of my Sharkticon horde, I am A-okay with this Gnaw. And I'm especially excited to grow the horde out with some official Hasbro Alicons in the future. So that's a quick look at Gnaw. Like I said, I think it's an easy recommendation if it is on sale. Otherwise, I don't think I'd bother with him. But he is a fun little toy. All right. Have a great day, everyone. See ya.